Hey guys, welcome to another episode. In the past couple weeks, we've gone from introducing a brand new 74 bus project to replacing the tires. We got all new shoes on this puppy, and then we've also installed our LED headlights last week. So now we're going to start digging into these huge tubs of things. So all this was in the bus when we got it. There's just a bunch of random parts from the 2-liter that was in it, the Type 4 engine that was originally in it, which I don't have anymore. It wasn't with it when I bought it, so I just have no engine at all. We're still up in the air about what engine we want to go with. Air-cooled, Subaru, you tell me in the comments down below. What do you want to see? I know which one I'm kind of favoring, but I want to try both and see what you guys think. But anyway, what I want to do is jump into these tubs of parts. I have no idea what's in here. From the very first episode, I'll make sure to put a link up here for that one. We unpacked all of this out of it, put it in these tubs, stuffed it up on the shelf, and that was the end of it. So I want to start going through this with you guys. Maybe we can do a little bit of easy bench testing on some of these parts. You know, I can already see the fan, the cooling fan. We'll see if we can even bench test that. Who knows? But I want to go through this. I can already identify some parts, but I want to bring you along and see what we've got. So I don't really know what to jump into first, so let's go into this old banker's box. It looks like we've got a blower motor for the fan. Definitely been played with a time or two. So we can bench test this. Looks like it's still got the bolts on it. Got the little flaps still in there. And it spins by hand, so that's a good sign. So maybe we can bench test that. Looks like we've got some airflow adapters for the doors or in the back passenger area. Looks like some sort of thermostat thing in there. Not quite sure. Again, Volkswagens are not my forte, so we're just going to learn all these parts as we go. Now, if you see a part that I'm naming incorrectly, or you know exactly what, oh yeah, I know what that is, put it down below in the comments so I can learn too. It looks like some more air duct pieces. A lens, a blinker lens, one that we originally needed, but it is cracked pretty good. It's got spiderweb cracks in it, so we're not going to be using that. That'll be a good backup one day, but not right now. This is based on all the great silicone on it. I guarantee this is for our gas cap area. We've got some tin cans with plastic bags in them, and more tin cans with little screws in them. These look like suspension parts, thick bolts. Got the clamps for your tie rods there. Oh. So that makes me think, I wonder if these brake shoes have been replaced on the back wheel. We might have to check that out. On those brake drums, looks like we've got some old school audio cables and for house fixture, not quite sure. This looks like, don't know, you tell me. Looks like something for a window or something like that. You let me know what that is. Got like a little nub here. I wonder if it's for the window latches. Not quite sure. Ooh, a pedal for a clutch or a brake. More cooling vents. This looks like an engine lid spring holder, but I don't know why there's a pipe clamp on it. Rubber brake line. So more signs of maybe brake work has been done in the past. Oh. Rocker arm assembly. I wonder if that's what happened to this thing. Another pedal, another breaker. It's definitely a brake pedal. I can tell because of the wear on the side there, from your gas to your brake, where your foot immediately touches. So that's what that's going to be. So it must mean the other one is a clutch pedal. More rubber pieces. Not quite sure. Handle. I think this is for the dash. We've already got one, so this is probably just an extra. Not sure what that is. 1489. If you know what that is, 1489. We got the door handle inserts. That's great. Safety glasses. You know, got to be safe. And some more metal pieces. A lot of bolts. We've got some wheel cylinders. Again, makes me think that the drum brakes have been worked on. Oh, is this an ashtray? Oh, Come on, open, baby. Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I wonder where this goes. Well, is this in the back of the seat? I'll see if I can find a picture. But I think these go on the back of that first row of seats. But correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's where those go. CV axle, plates for the transmission, heater control levers, a hub. Okay. Some sort of bracket with a roller thing on it. 2 roller things. I don't know. You tell me. I don't know what this is. Oh, got a master cylinder. So there's a lot of brake parts in here. So I wonder if the brake system in this was overhauled as part of a start of a restoration and then just stopped. But I'm not sure. More rubber parts. Got 2 of these. Are these door striker things? I don't know. More rubber pieces. Big chunky bolts. Is this a gas cap? A locking gas cap? Is that what that is? It's got a little thing in the middle. Does it vent? Or is the key just drilled out? I don't know. There's no threads on it, so I don't know how that would lock. This looks like it's the rear deck lid striker. It says VW on it, so it's an original German part. 221-843-656. So new VW nuts. Tell me what that is. Another rubber piece. This might be like for the sliding door, maybe? I don't know. A lot of little metal pieces, lots of bolts, plugs, all the good things that come out of the bottom. I wonder if this is for the shifter. Again, I'm just guessing here from the stuff. I can kind of see a part number, but it says VW on it and a really old school Audi logo. So I don't know if that's for the fuel sending unit, maybe? I don't know, something like that. A lot of bolts, big chunky bolts. Oh, this is the wheel adjustment for your drum brakes. So again, more brake stuff. There's several of these. There's 3 of them in here. This might have just been leftover parts from a brake job. I don't know. I mean, this could not even be for a bus. It could be for a bug, for all I know. So, pretty interesting in here. A bunch of brake parts. So, makes you really want to dig into this brake system and see what we've got underneath there. Maybe the shoes are brand new cylinders, all that stuff, or maybe this is just a hodgepodge thrown into a box. I don't know. But this is just box 1. Let's go to the next one. All right, so this is the next tub. I can tell you right away that this is some window mechanisms. I'm glad we have both of them. At least it looks like 2. They're a little different, 3 maybe. I don't know if this is out of a bus or a bug or what, but this thing is absolutely filthy. And it's got the nozzle on there for the handle. This one has a smaller one, which makes me think this is maybe a bug. I don't know, there's 2 of these. So maybe one's for a bus and the other's for a bug, I'm not quite sure. A lot smaller snout on those. A lot smaller than this other one, so I don't know what's what. We're gonna have to do some reading on that. Got a coil holder. So we've got another striking plate. A reflector made in Mexico. So an aftermarket one. I don't think this is for, I don't know. Maybe it is for the bus. Does that look like it's for the bus? I'm not quite sure. A dust cap with no grease in it. I don't know if that's a good thing or not. Here's another ashtray cover. There's just a blank one. Oh man, I'm so glad I didn't order one. And this is a VW one. Okay, so the steering in this is really, really sloppy. And I looked underneath there, and that rag joint that connects the steering shaft to the gear turner thing is really, really shot. And this one is like brand new. It says Germany on it, Volkswagen. You can see there it says Germany, VW. So they're at the top. So that's good. Maybe that's something we'll do here soon too, is replace that rag joint, because when I turn the wheel I can turn it about a half turn before I get any response out of the tires. So that's awesome that I found that. This is why you go through all your stuff before you buy parts. And this looks like a dome light. Hella, this looks made in Germany. So a lot of these German parts are in this box, which is great, covered in dust and stuff. I don't know if this is if it's just been bent or what, but yeah, it's got the VW down here. But I don't know if that's supposed to be that way or what's going on. If it's supposed to be flat, you know, but I don't want to bend it because it's old plastic. But got a little break there. It's got to be some sort of dome light or I don't know. Well, you tell me. Tell me what this is. And we've got, looks like a headlight bulb and a teed off vacuum brass adapter. That's a good find because those rag joints are like, you know, 15 bucks, something like that. Not bad, but you know, 15 bucks we don't have to spend. Another tub of parts. Oh, awesome. We've got the other side's door handle insert. That's great. We've got a reflector with one nut. So I don't know if that's like an aftermarket kind. Got a fuse holder, little plastic bits, nuts, bolts, nothing crazy. Looks like a center wheel cap. We've got 2 hand cranks for the windows, and they're the short ones. They don't have a lot of teeth on them. On the inside, it's not a very deep snout here, which makes me think that maybe this is from a bug, but this is how it looks all assembled. This other one's in pieces, so I just need to have the nut, but I've got all the pieces here in this tub, so maybe that's what that goes to. Little strikers, little handles, plastic parts. I don't know, it's a cover for something. I don't know what that goes to. Again, you tell me. So, just little odds and ends, little plastic pieces, hose clamps, spare wire, you know, little levers for your, you know, hot thing. These look like little plugs for your window cranks. Just a good little pieces of things that are just kind of hard to find sometimes. Holy moly, I didn't know I had this. This shows you how much attention I paid when I was unloading the car. Now let me have this, thank you, is the shifter. I was just looking at buying a replacement shifter assembly, and it was like 40 bucks, which is still not a bad price because there's so much aftermarket support for this. But oh, this is so good. I was literally about to buy another one, so I'm really glad I didn't. But it's got a lot of overspray for when this was painted, and a lot of this had a lot of overspray, and I'm sure you've seen it in all the other clips. But this can easily get cleaned up with just some Scotch-Brite. Clean this up and shoot it with some, you know, brake clean. I don't know what this fuzz is, but that's gross. But we'll grease it. It's got the pin in there. It's got the spring. And I guarantee the bolts are in here. So we could actually put this back in, which is fantastic. I'm so glad I don't have to spend the money on that. Here's our other lens, still spider cracked like crazy, but still good to have. All the matching bolts could be good because I got 2 different color bolts in there, so it might be a good thing to have. We've also got, it looks like there's 2 of these in here. Yeah. Just the housings for your backlights, and they are just corroded to all heck. But good for reference, I guess, for where the lights need to go and what it looks like on the ones that are in there. And these are, looks like that's part of it. These are the door channels for the heat in the car. To come through your driver and passenger door. I don't know if they worked as like an armrest too, but these are in good shape. There's just a little crack at the end, but again, I don't know if we're going to use this because this is where it meets the dash over here. But you know, who knows? Maybe when we have air conditioning, we'll insulate that so we can run AC up to the front. Here we've got a armrest. Pretty straightforward on that one. Looks like we've got some weather stripping. That's not going to help us anymore, so we can throw that away. Looks like a vent tube for the fuel. Yeah, for the fuel tank. It's like a metal vent tube, so it will fill fast. A really nasty towel. Oh, the other armrest. Man, we are coming out victorious right now, saving all sorts of money on those interior pieces. And this looks like it's just a broken piece of tube. Another vent. Man, vents and air and vents and air. And what is this? You tell me. Looks like a speedo cable, maybe? Goes into the transmission. I don't know, it doesn't seem like it's long enough for that. But it spins in there, so that's good. we'll keep on that. Hold on to that. We've also got, what is this? Something in the bag. I'm liking this. VW German part. Looks like it's got a little piece of metal and tabs and I don't know. Big piece of rubber, metal tabs, German. We'll take it, whatever that goes to. Now that is like a tree. What do you do with this? Is this like, why? What? Is this under the dash where the heat tube up the middle comes and it does your defrost? I mean that would make the most sense, but it says VW on it, so it's an original part. Well, it's nasty.
Oh, that's nasty.
But we can clean that. Nothing a little soap and water can't, well, fix. That's good. Here's our other door handle. Awesome. Definitely needs to be cleaned up, but I'm glad it has the hardware. I do this. This is a really good trick, is whenever you're taking something off, rather than just throwing it all in a bag, put them back where they go. It saves you so much time in the long run. When you're going through your parts and you're going to reassemble something, just, you know, it's already there. So we might put that on so we can open the other door. Looks like we've got a little O-ring kit, still pliable. And then we've got another piece of rubber. It's like a triangle shape. I don't know if it's for a window or what. Oh, a candle. A used candle. Got a little warm. What's the smell? What do you? It doesn't tell me the smell. I mean, it smells okay. It smells like apple something or other. Not my style. Just some bolts, a really old growth shirt, and this looks like it's some sort of jet thing, speaker, tweeter thing. Not gonna need that. And like the most iconic thing of a bus is the VW logo in the front. And I think this is too big. I think this is an earlier version of the VW emblem. Ours actually has the smaller version in the middle of the front. We don't have it on there, we don't have one, but maybe we'll go with this as a bigger one, kind of use these, center it, and then I don't really want to drill holes at the front. Makes me really nervous. But maybe we can figure something out to attach this or just not have it at all, because I mean it's Volkswagen, it's identifiable. All right, that was a good box. Now we just gotta put it all back in there. I'll save out the stuff that I want to work on next. And we're gonna bench test that fan. I'll keep out this lever. I don't know if these bolts are for that or not. I'll have to try and find out. But anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. Clean it all up, and we'll move to the next one. All right, so I kept out the rag joint, the shifter, the door handle, and the candle, because you know the garage gets smelly sometimes. So we have the candle. We're going to go into our third and final box. I don't think I have anything else to go through. I think this is it. We look like we have some cooling tins, trim pieces for a headlight, a grill for something. We've got boot for door panel clips. Sure. Looks like this for a headlight in there. Another cooling fan. Oh, and a weed eater head. I could really use this, but not really. So that box wasn't as thrilling. We do have these though. These are some of our swivel windows. They go squeak, 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 and you open the window. Got one here, the other one, and this one's got the little doodad on it, the latch. So this other latch handle is actually in that last box. That's why I saw this. It doesn't have a spring on it. So that's pretty cool, but we have it. And we've got a red bag of nothing. Nada. More weather stripping that is just, you know, crunchy and gross. And then we've got heater hose. If this is air cooled, why do you need heater hose? I don't know. Maybe it's a sign we're not supposed to stay air cooled. I don't know, you tell me. All right, Here's another one of those lights, but it's busted. So I don't know what this is for, because this one's cracked in that corner as well. So I'm not sure. Here's a trunk latch without a key, and it works. So maybe we'll go to this one because the other one has a key slot, but I don't know if we have the key. We haven't tried it. We've got striker for the sliding door, door striker, another door handle. This is this is the door catch for this door. I think this driver's door is missing this, so that's another thing that we need to put back on. This is I don't know, it's got a little arm in there. I don't know, what is it? It's got a little arm in there. It does things. Tell me. We've also got, looks like another door striker. The hot and cold controls, that's good. That puts us at all three. Another striker, a gasket that is no bueno, and then a bunch of little screws. We have so many red. How hot is it supposed to be in this thing? And is this supposed to be blue? Because it's green. And we've got another rubber piece and some electrical stuff. And this looks like a grab handle for the sliding door. So the one that's on there is actually in better shape than this, but it's good to have an extra one. Looks like little striker pieces, little tiny screws for the stuff. So we'll keep that separate because it'd be good to put the door catch on there so we don't have that door hyperextend. This looks like it's a heating, cooling tube for that fan. Definitely seen better days. We've got some vent windows for the front. I don't know if these are the right shape or not. Maybe not even the right year, but they got a VW logo in the glass. See up there in the front? Right there, can you see it? VW. And it's got the little latch. That's cool. It's still on there. Doesn't have the hardware in it, so we'd have to find that. Looks like we've got the other side. Ooh, that I broke. Oh, this is just the insert. Okay, we're good. Missing the little knob. That's okay, it still works. Looks like we'll be able to seal it, maybe. Oh yeah, there it goes. It works. So another VW one, no hardware in it. We'll have to figure that out. But that's a good sign. This looks like the rubber piece that goes around the engine. You know, in the engine bay, there's that lip that this seals in to keep the hot air down and the cool air on top. It's another piece of it right there. Oh, a shock. Okay, so we were missing a shock. Doesn't work. That's, the label's completely, oh, there it goes. Okay. Will it work? Nice. It says KYB, do not open, do not heat. I mean, if you insist, I won't do that. Okay. It just needs to be worked. That's all. That's all I'm saying. Okay. See? It's coming around. So we actually need to install this because we're missing one. Not the same color, probably not the same brand, but it's better than none. And what is that? Oh, that's gross. It's like dirt, sand, something. I don't know what that is. Another exhaust, flexi exhaust tube. You're crunchy though. I don't know if I want you. A tub full of hardware. Look at that. The Fire Starter 300 right there. It's got a bunch of screws, bolts, rubber stoppers. I don't know what this is. Looks like another fuel something sender, something or other. A reflector, little gaskets. Looks like there's some oil seals for the oil coolers. That's what those are. A couple of those in here. Big bolts, little bolts, like wood screws. I'm kind of glad I don't have the engine because this is probably all the pieces for that engine and they're all sitting right here with me. And then we've got 4 hubcaps. Now these are really shallow and I don't know if these are for the bus or not. This one's definitely seen better days. It's got a big scuff here, crease there. All of these are dented to the moon and back, looking like the moon surface. But are they gonna fit? Oh, those will fit. Might have to use like a rubber mallet, but it's okay. Maybe those will work. I'll have to try those. They're really, really dirty, but I don't know. I like these, kind of the shallow. But these are ones, actually, speaking of hubcaps, I've got these that my dad has had for like 20 years. He just really liked these hubcaps, and he always had them for a really long time. And then I got the bus, and he said, hey, I want you to have these for your bus, and these will fit. So we have two options. We've got the kind of the moon shaped ones, I think that's what these called, these big dome ones, and these are more kind of flat pie tin kind. You can kind of see the height difference there. I really like these, and they're in much better shape than these. But you know, which ones do you like? Put it down in the comments there. Which ones do you guys like? A lot of commenting on this video. I need to know what you guys know and like and prefer. So this one wasn't as giving as the other two, but I mean, we've got some good stuff in here that we can start working on and getting some small repairs done as we're saving up for the, you know, the bigger stuff. So this is I'm really glad this came with a lot of it. A lot of good extras, which you know, you can't have too many extra pieces. So we found a lot of good parts in all these tubs and a lot of good spares for in case we have any issues. But there's a couple of pieces that I really want to install like right now that are going to be super easy. The first thing, the rag joint. So we're going to crawl underneath here. Luckily the bus is much taller than the Fiat, so we can actually get under there without having to jack it up. Just put some chocks underneath the wheel so it doesn't, you know, roll and crush us. And we're going to swap this puppy out. So here we are under the front of the bus. Normally there's a big, you know, protector plate here, and I've taken it out. There's the screws that held it in, and I've got it over there by the back wheel off, painted and looking half decent. But we're gonna go here to our steering box, and up here is that rag joint. Try and get you guys a good angle. So you can see just how, you know, as I fill my mouth with dirt, you can see how destroyed that rag joint is compared to our new one. So we're definitely going to get in there and replace it. It looks like there's 13s, 12s, I don't know, something metric to get in there. I don't know if we're gonna have to get up on the top side and lift the bottom of our steering column plate to get in there. Maybe we can just, you know, zip this off. I'm not sure. Maybe we'll have to jack it up a little bit to take the tension off the wheels. So if we lift it up just a little bit, take the tension off this, we can freely turn the steering wheel to take off all the resistance on that. So let's get this up in the air just a little bit, and then we'll be able to start unscrewing those. As we're getting ready to put this up in the air, I want to give you guys some perspective before we really jump into this. She's a little slappy, if you know what I mean. So that's our rag joint, totally trashed, and our steering box probably needs adjustment, but that is not moving the tires barely at all. So we're gonna get that replaced. Looks like there's a couple screws and we can lift that plate up to get to it. After a lot of fighting with this plastic piece, there's a little groove that it sits in underneath here. You've got to get that plastic piece above that groove, and then the whole thing will slide out. Learn from me on that one. But now I know why my horn wasn't working, because it's, you know, disconnected. Because whenever I put direct power to it, it'll work, but you know, if it's not connected up here, it's not going to do you any good. So that's a good easy way to fix that right now. While we're in here, we'll clean those connections up. But it looks like now we can get to these really easily. These look like probably 13s, and zip these off, and you can really see just how bad that joint is. Just awful. It looks like our steering box is really the issue. It needs to be tightened up, not necessarily the rag joint, but that still needs to be replaced, because that is awful. So we got that rag joint out, but just for some perspective, this is the old one, and that's what it's supposed to look like. I mean, this thing is just hanging on by hopes and dreams, and yeah, it's pretty gnarly. That's what it's supposed to look like. The good thing is our holes all line up perfectly, so we got a good part. Awesome find on the inside of our tubs. Our tubs of goodies. So now let's install this. Once we reverse the process, but we're going to clean up the connections. We're going to run the bolts through the wire wheel because they've been down there for a long time. Clean them up, make them look good again, and then we'll reassemble all of it, just the reverse. Now we've got the base of that mostly installed. That plastic piece doesn't want to fit all the way in there, but we'll do that in a second. But the next part is going to be underneath here is with our steering box. So I'm going to grab my light and show you guys here the steering box. So this is a lot like the Fiat actually, same principle. So what we're going to do is we're going to back off this nut, looks like maybe a 17, and then that screw, we're going to turn it in to tighten up the steering. Now what's really important is to make sure that your steering wheel is straight. Make sure the wheels are straight, coming straight forward, and that your wheel is straight. That way you're evenly applying the pressure on that, and you're going to do just small quarter turns at a time, test the steering, a little bit more, test the steering. We're going to take all that play out of there. For all we know, this could have just been sitting for so long and just gotten completely backed out, but yeah, it's very important. Straight, wheel straight, back off that nut, screw in this screw, quarter turn at a time, try it. Once it feels good and tight, then you can lock down your nut. All right, that is tightened up. It's about one full turn in there, and it took out a lot of slop out of our steering. Now there is still some. We've also got to remember our tie rods that are connecting all the way back to our steering rack here. Those are really worn out. So I don't want to overdo it trying to compensate for it, because these definitely need to get replaced as well. So those are just completely trashed, and that's where a lot of our slop takes place. There's a lot of movement there, and over here there's some too, so I don't want to overdo it. But it took out a lot just to be able to maneuver this thing a little bit differently. So the next thing I want to do is, since we attached our horn up top, I want to reconnect power and get this to work. So we reconnected power. I put a little jumper on here. I'm gonna put the key on. What? Our wipers are on? How did that happen? Hey, they work though. That's sweet. I'm just gonna turn them off. How do you turn off here? I don't know where the switch is for them. Is it? I don't know. Either way, we'll just let that happen right now. Let's see if our horn works. That is the most pitiful. I'm sure it's super old. There it goes. Wow. Talk about old school. That's awesome. That's so sweet. Let's turn off the power before we forget. Still got to figure out our blinker issue. Still popping a fuse. Because they were working, but I don't know why our wipers are on. So I'm gonna have to figure out what's going on there. Still have to learn all the knobs, you know. That can be hard. Well guys, that's going to be the end of this episode. We were able to go through all these tubs of stuff that we got and found a lot of good pieces that we were missing and we don't have to spend the money on, which is a great savings for the channel. We also installed that rag joint, got a lot of the slop out of our steering wheel. It is much stiffer now and we're actually getting more of an immediate response. We just have to replace those ball joints as part of the steering linkage underneath the bus. Those are just completely shot too, and that's where I think the last bit of that slop is. We only turned about 3/4, maybe one full turn on that screw with our wheels straight. So we did take out a little bit, but it wasn't much at all. So that's going to be the end of this episode, guys. I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. It really does help the channel so we can continue to grow. We still have shirts and drink sleeves available. The shirts are $15, the drink sleeves are $5. Those go to help fund parts for the bus so we can continue to work on this and bring you guys more content. You just send me an email, garagetimetv@gmail.com, and we'll get that merch sent out to you within a couple days through priority mail. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. And until next time, we'll see you.